G'day folks, Wagtail Slimline clip modification, part 2. G'day folks, welcome back to the workshop. In today's video I'm going to be doing part 2 of the Slimline Wagtail clip. In part 1 I showed you how to make and use this clip. It's for the Slimline. It's the static clip. So this is only good for under disc pad work because the pads aren't wide enough to go over the top and get a good scrubbing motion. So what I'm going to do with part 2 is turn this into a flipping clip. I call it the WAGMAN flip clip, and we'll get into that right now. So here's what you're going to need for this little project. Some glue. I like to use Loctite. It's instant grab. Don't have to mess about too much. If you're gonna get all this really wet, if you're one of those guys that dunk your squidgy into a bucket, I use a bottle on a belt so it's not getting constantly wet. But if yours is in a bucket, maybe you want to use more like a rubber cement, that sort of stuff that you fix tyre repairs with, that type of rubber cement. That might hold better in the water, but this does me great. I've used it for a long time and I really like this. So here's what you're going to need: some glue. You need to get your clips. I like the old style grey white clip from Wagtail and the standard clip that comes with the Slimline channel. Also going to need some webbing. This is just a nylon-y type webbing type material. I've just got this from the local fabric shop. It's already exactly the right width. All you got to do is trim it to your size. This is for an 18-inch. So you'll need some pliers and you'll need your heat gun. Alright, so get those together and we'll get started. Okay, so start with this little clip. If you've got a vise, whack it in your vise first of all. So what you're going to do, you pop that into your vise like so. Now what you're going to need to do is work out which side of your wagtail this is going to be sitting on, because you need to cut your 45 cut on that eventually to match your dog earring. So this one I've already made. This has got the flipper here. So what we're doing now is we're gluing this strip onto the white grey clip. So whack some glue straight onto that clip. And then hold this on. This shit grabs instantly, so be quick. Wipe that down. That's already grabbed. This Loctite stuff is amazing. That's already grabbed. So just glue that onto there, up nice and close to the edge. Next, what we want to do is take your other clip, again making sure you've got it right way around, have it down, have your clip so it sits inside the channel just like a H section, and you want the clip sitting on the bottom, and then this folds over and we're going to put the glue right there, so that becomes the hinge coming over the top. And when it's in under mode, it rests on this section there, so there's no weight pulling down on any glue when you've got a heavy pad. So that sits on that as a weight stop. Alright, so right, what we're going to do next is glue this fabric onto the top of there. So I'll pop that straight down onto here, into the vise. Okay, so that's now sitting in the vise. My other one that I've already glued, I've worked out that my 45 cut's going to be this end, and I'm going to be flipping over the top this way. So there's the channel there. Now I'm just going to sit that inside that channel, let it rest on that bottom plate, and then press down on the glue. Adding the glue now to the top section. I'm going to fold this back a little bit and rest it onto the bottom plate, because once that grabs, and then push down on the glue. This is why I like to use Loctite, because it's really quick set. You don't have to sit this and let it glue for hours and hours and hours. You can pretty much use this straight up. Okay, that's that'll be locked in nice and tight now. Just making sure it's in nice and firm. That now becomes your flip clip. Comes up and over like that. Okay, so what I want to do now is cut this to a 45 cut. What you do with that, you just make sure you got it on the right side channel. That's going to be sitting on this side channel, so I need that 45 cut to match my already 45 cut on my dog ear, just to bring it down so it stays out of the way of any framework. Okay, now after you've cut your 45 on there, now putting it back into the vise. Now what we're going to do is, I've done this one already, we're going to use the heat gun, we're going to pinch this end, and we're going to open this end. That's so you can feed your pad in and pinch it tight this end. Take your heat gun, just take your pencil nose pliers. Going to put a little bit of pressure on this end just so when it heats it closes. This takes really quick. Do not put this on for very long. That's it. That's all you need. Very, very quick. Just enough to pinch that so that that locks in your pad when it comes through. It locks it in. This end, just take again your pencil nose pliers. You want to take the bottom bottom flange and just open it slightly. Again, it takes a very little time. That's it. Really quick, because this plastic is very soft. Okay, so all we've done here is heat gunned it as per Herman. If you want to see anything about heat gunning, go and see Herman's videos, and he's got a lot on heat gunning. So there's the pinched, okay, and there's the slightly opened end, so we can feed the so you can feed this fella in without any problem, and then pinch it off. So that feeds in like that, and then it pinches in at this end, stops it from being pulled out and fall out as the pad gets heavy. Okay, so we'll set that up on the squidgy now and show you how this flip clip works. Alright folks, well that's the clips made up. So I'll just show you my preferred squidgy for high work, and that's this one here. This is the pivot control. Now I don't use it for the actual pivot control itself. I mostly use it because of the over the top disc mounted section. So as you can see, the handle is mounted over the disc as opposed to mounted under the disc like this fella. High work, it's good for that. So what I also do with this fella is, if you notice these blocks down here, I cut them off so you get absolutely no interference down here on closeout at all. There's the here's a brand new one and you can see the lugs here. Now what these lugs are actually for is they're stop blocks. It's for the handle. So the handle comes around, it stops the handle from swinging all the way around. But if you've got it top mounted, you don't need the under disc stop blocks. What you've got here instead is this section here. That becomes the stop block for the handle. So these ones are obsolete. So you can cut those off, as you can see there. I've cut those off completely. Now what that does is that gives an absolutely perfect closeout. As you can see on here, there's absolutely nothing there to interfere with closeout whatsoever. This can just come straight down. Now you can see why I like this over the top disc mounted for high work and for its closeout on the high stuff. You can bring the water down and you can go to that and then flick over like that and you're done. The handle is not getting in the way. Where's that other one? Here it is. This one here, you can come down and you've got your stop block there, you've got your handle there, you've got all sorts of stuff that can get in the way before you can roll over and close out. Put the handle on top and take out the stop blocks and you can come all the way down to there and then roll over. So this is why I like this one, the top, over the top stuff. Okay, now back to the clips. Undermounted, you can still use it as an undermounted, but I generally use this as an over the top clip for high work. So take the squidgy, fold that over with your thumb, so you've now got both channels facing in the same direction. You've got an open section here which you've opened with the heat gun, and you've got a closed pinched section here. Okay, so feed it into the opened up section like so. It feeds in quite nicely. Obviously I'm trying to do this for the camera, so it's a little bit more difficult. Okay, now and then take the second clip, fold that over also, and then feed that into the opened up section of your clip, and again pop it into the pinched off section at the end. So there, that becomes now an over the top clip. You see how that clip now follows the pad over the top with it, like so. When this pad is heavy with water, that pulls that over quite nicely. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't pull it all the way. It's just so that this is free, the pad is free to come up and over, and a lot of coverage underneath. Because once you start going up and down, if there's not enough coverage coming over the top, if this pad only came to there and you started to do the up push, it will pull that off, and you'll start to scratch. This has to have a lot of coverage over, and having this flip clip allows a ton of play for that. With it being a flip clip, it also, as it flips back, it comes back to its original position there, and it's also it comes back to there, so it keeps well away from the glass on this side. So there you go, your top mounted WAGMAN flip clip. There you go, like that. As this fabric, this one here is brand new, as this fabric wears, it will come, it softens up, it will come further over. I've got a couple of old ones here. I mean, this that I've started with, and this is quite loose now. These are the very old ones. These don't even have the little ledge on it. This is when they used to have the Velcro stuck to these. Okay, so that's the top section. Now if you want to keep that as a bottom, as an under the disc clip as well, no problem, just leave it in place, take the pad off like so, then all you need to do is just leave that in place. See how it comes down and sits on this lip? So the weight of the pad is not going to pull on this glued fabric section at all. So leave it down. Now just feed it in as an under the disc clip, and instead of it being a flip clip, it's just a standard normal WAGMAN modified slimline clip, okay, which comes around beautifully, and you have absolutely no problem with closeout with these clips. Okay, so there you have the WAGMAN flip clip. There it is right there. Another quick look at it. Nice and neat on top, nice and neat underneath. Cut it to 45 to suit your wagtail, your dog earring, and that is a perfect, absolutely perfect over the top clip for the Wagtail Slimline. Alright, so this is WAGMAN. Give that a go.